You'll have to forgive me for maybe being out of breath a little bit for this video. I just got done working out and I'm jumping straight into recording this one. But Jasmine Crockett, an absolute hack of a public pundit or public figure in the political sphere, has just recently been called out for connecting Lee Zeldin and other GOP members like Mitt Romney, who, by the way, I'm not a fan of, even though I am a Republican, to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, she connected him to the wrong Jeffrey Epstein, and that's kind of the big headline here. Earlier this week, Jasmine Crockett fired back at Republicans for receiving money from Jeffrey Epstein as part of her attempts to defend her friend, Virginia Islands delegate Stacey Plaskett. Stacey Plaskett, of course, who did actually take funds from the evil, disgusting, pedophilic child trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and was in direct communication with him in a House meeting. Yeah, that's right. Direct communication with Jeffrey Epstein. Texting him first and getting information from him. She enjoyed an overly cozy relationship with the disgraced financier and sexual predator, and Jasmine Crockett attacked Mitt Romney, John McCain, and Sarah Palin and Lee Zeldin, pretty much all Republican officials, for having contact with Jeffrey Epstein. There's just one problem. The Jeffrey Epstein who donated to Zeldin, Romney, and other Republicans is not that Jeffrey Epstein, i.e., the one who died in prison under mysterious circumstances, and has embroiled various associates in scandal, including Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I don't know if that's actually his name or not. And then Larry Summers. That's right, Larry Summers was indicated in this as well. The Jeffrey Epstein whose political donations Crockett is highlighting is an entirely different person. Now, I'd show you the video, but I'm just going to say what she says here, because it's actually recorded in this little section of text where she says, "Someone named Jeffrey Epstein." So her quote was, and I am saying this legitimately, her quote, Jasmine Crockett's quote was something along the lines of, these Republicans, these members of the GOP, got donations from someone named Jeffrey Epstein, also from someone named Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, she was indicating and trying to point to the idea that Jeffrey Epstein, the child predator, was in direct communication with members of the GOP. Yet the only people who have been linked thus far, officially through documentation and through leaked emails, have been, you guessed it, Democrats, people of the leftist, liberal, Democrat Socialist Party of America. Crockett's lame insinuations about Zeldin and other Republicans are false, absolutely false. Note also what she's trying to do here. She's attempting to run cover for Stacey Plaskett, who appears extremely complicit in efforts to shelter and protect Jeffrey Epstein, the actual Jeffrey Epstein, as revealed by journalist Lee Fang. Plaskett previously worked for Epstein's fixer in the Virginian Islands and solicited him for campaign donations when she ran to be the Virginia Islands non-voting delegate. Here was Fang on Rising 2 years ago. That's a link to it. I'm not going to actually show you that because I don't want to deal with that. The House moved to censure Plaskett, but that vote failed this week as 3 Republicans joined all Democrats in voting to protect her. So those three Republicans need to be investigated as well. Of course, nothing's actually going to come of this because, as of right now, everyone seems to be playing into the hand of the Democrat-funding leftist political sphere that allows for child predators to get off, like Joe Biden when he's groping kids on live TV, and several other things. So we have Jasmine Crockett being called out in an interview. This isn't in this article, apparently. She's being called out in an interview from a member of a left-leaning news source, where she tries to defend her position as saying that she did not know it was the wrong Jeffrey Epstein, and that in reality she'd only gotten the information 20 minutes prior to going live on air. So there's a couple of problems that you're running into. One, you're not fact-checking to see if it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. So, from your perspective, if you're trying to smear these people for claiming that Plaskett, or whatever her name is, Stacey Plaskett, if you're trying to say as a rebuttal that since Stacey Plaskett, your constituent, got funding from Jeffrey Epstein, and then someone else named Jeffrey Epstein also donated to Republican members of the GOP, like Lee Zeldin, and Mitt Romney, you're clearly implying or indicating that you believe it to be the bad Jeffrey Epstein, the one that supposedly committed suicide, the one that was in front of a child sex ring, the one who had his own private island where he got to go and do all these things. That Jeffrey Epstein was the one that you implicated into the lives and into the donation history of Lee Zeldin and other GOP members, like Mitt Romney and a couple others, Sarah Palin even, okay? And then you go on to this interview where this member of your party is asking you what you meant by it, and you lie by saying that you didn't mean to implicate that anyone in the GOP was actually connected to Jeffrey Epstein, when you clearly did, and that was your intention by the way that you approached it. But you're also now claiming that you didn't know and that you're basically a victim of circumstance because your constituents who gave you the information didn't tell you it was a different Jeffrey Epstein, and so you ran with it anyways. So you didn't have to say anything if you didn't know for concrete that it was the same Jeffrey Epstein or a different Jeffrey Epstein, and your intention was very much so to implicate people of the opposing political party who so far are squeaky clean into this heinous crime of being part of this child sex trafficking ring that Jeffrey Epstein was heading. So no, Jasmine Crockett, you're not going to get away with it this time. Everyone can see it. Everyone can see it. The Democrats have stepped into a bear trap and have accidentally sprung it on themselves. And they don't know how to recover from it, so they're just throwing haymakers in every direction, hoping that they can take everything down with them. And unfortunately, there seem to be some Republicans who are in the back pockets of these Democrats who are pleading to allow these people directly connected to this federal, evil, despicable, human rights violating criminal, and they're defending them. Those Republicans need to be investigated. They need to be removed from their positions of authority, as well as any other member of the government directly connected to, in a negative way, Jeffrey Epstein. Those are my 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the racket in the background. I'm recording this in my garage, and like I said, I'm a little out of breath, and I'm a little scatterbrained because I just got done working out. So forgive me if this is a little breathy, and forgive me if I'm a little bit kind of rambly. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great day, and a great rest of the week.